Hi everyone, I am Beth from Huntington Valley Library, Youth Services Associate, and I'm here this morning with another really quick and easy DIY teens video. We are going to be pressing flowers today, and this is in anticipation of next week's video where we're going to do some projects where we use our pressed flowers. But of course, the first step in doing pressed flower crafts would be to create some pressed flowers. So unless that's something you already do at home and you have a pile of pressed flowers sitting around your house, we need to go over how to do it real quick. It's actually really fun and satisfying. The best part of it is start by taking a bowl outside and walking around your yard or your apartment complex or through your neighborhood to find anything that catches your eye that it's okay to clip off. You're going to want to take some maybe kitchen shears or a good pair of scissors, and like I said, a bowl to collect the wonderful things you find. This morning, everything I have here came from my own yard. Azaleas are blooming right now in our area, so some azalea blooms would be perfect. These are gorgeous. I'm very excited about them. I have the azalea with smaller blooms. I think this is going to turn out really nice. What else did I find? I found some clover, which I thought would be fun to go ahead and press for some of the projects that we're going to do next week. If you can find a 4-leaf clover, that would be amazing, and make a great gift to give somebody a dried and pressed 4-leaf clover in a project. One of the things we'll be doing next week is bookmarks with these. So this is part of a rhododendron bloom. The rhododendrons are the big bushy plants that are blooming right now. This is the typical color for them, maybe a little darker and pinker. The blooms are huge because they're made up of a bunch of these sort of in a circular pattern. I'm not going to clip the whole thing off because you really can't press that. I took one bloom from inside, and the good news is this isn't going to hurt the plant or anything like that. None of these will. All of these bushes are blooming and full of flowers right now, so taking one or two here and there isn't going to do anything bad. Let's see, I found a little teeny tiny buttercup that I think will turn out nicely, and I also grabbed some little evergreen that I found on the ground that I thought might be nice. So, like I said, the most fun part of this project is collecting all of the things from outside that you're going to use. So do that first. Pause me and then come back. What you're going to want when you come back is the biggest, heaviest book you can find. So a dictionary would be perfect if you still have a printed dictionary. I have my handy complete works of Shakespeare here, so this is going to be perfect. I personally am not worried about my books or anything getting on them. If you're using something that's very special to you, though, you might want to line the page with parchment paper or wax paper, just in case any of the stickiness from the stamens comes off or it discolors the pages a little bit. This is a really old book of mine. It's been through a lot and I'm not concerned about it, but if you are, definitely just line the pages with a parchment paper or a wax paper. You would find that in a drawer in your kitchen most likely. All right, so these are examples of what I have after about 4 days of drying. Okay, look at my little azalea bloom. I mean, it's kind of perfect. This one's pretty dried out because it's small. On that note, all of the blooms I'm showing you are not full of moisture. You don't want to do this with something like a tulip, which I don't think are even blooming now anyway, but that flower it's too big, it's got too much water in it. When you crush it down, it's gonna probably break, and it's gonna take forever to dry out. Like I said, this really small azalea bloom, this is after only 4 days. We could go ahead and work with this. Some of the bigger ones that I have, like this double that I showed you, you can see it's still a little flappy. So that's 4 days in. I want to give this another week or so, which is why we're doing this today and planning to do the projects next week because, you know, I do want to use this, but I don't want to use it just yet, okay? So I've got some other azalea blooms on this page that I'm getting ready to work with in a week's time, and I'm going to show you how to go ahead and set up yours. I'm just going to go to another place in the book, and I'm gonna start setting some of these things out. It's really easy. We're literally mashing flowers, okay? The only thing that I would say design-wise, like for this flower, I would love to have these petals bend back a little bit in the final product so that we can see those stamens and so that the bloom is open. So when I lay it on my page, I'm gonna make it so that the pages, when I close over on them, push these in that direction, okay? If I turn it this way, as you can see, the page is gonna close it. And since I don't want that look for this particular flower, I'm gonna go this way. If you want closed blooms, that's totally fine. Like if I wanted to make this one sort of a closed, fluttered out look, I would set it up so that the pages close them up. I don't think I'm really gonna do that with many of these. I'm gonna put more than one on a page because why not? My Complete Works of Shakespeare is huge, so there's no reason not to. I'm gonna set that one up to open. And I definitely want to set this one up to open because I want to catch that really nice color pattern inside there. Okay, so all of these are going to sort of open up a little bit. I'm going to grab a good stack of papers and I'm going to just really slowly close it up there. Mash it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put another section, a white one. I'm going to throw my clover in there for this. My fingers are a little sticky because the nectar from the stamens. I'm gonna throw my teeny tiny buttercup in there. All right, I'll put my evergreen in this one too. And I think I can fit another tiny azalea. So maybe for this one, just for fun, I'm gonna do a closed one, okay? So I'm gonna turn it the other way, so stem pointing to spine of the book. That way, when I close it up, it's gonna close the petals and we'll see how that looks. All right, so I'm gonna close this. When I'm done, I'm gonna do another page worth probably after I turn this off. But when I'm all done, I'm gonna close the whole book. I'm gonna move it to a spot where it's gonna be out of the way and unmoved, i.e. the corner of a room on the floor, and I'm gonna stack a bunch of stuff on top of it. Cookbooks, I have a few binders, maybe you have some binders from school, anything heavy to really smash this down, and then I'm gonna walk away until next week, all right? And you are too. So that is kind of it for the pressing of flowers. Basically, the point is to flatten them, but also to dry them so that we're not dealing with moisture and that floppiness and flowers that are still retaining water that are gonna mess with our crafts coming up next week, all right? So that is it. Go outside. It's about to start raining for like the next 2 days, so do it soon because you don't want to do this with wet flowers. You would definitely want to do it with dry. But see what you can find, and it doesn't have to be flowers. Like I said, we've got these little clover leaves. I liked the evergreen, anything you want to work with. And the next week we will do another DIY Teens where we work on some projects with all of these, okay? So have a great week. Get out there and collect some stuff before the rain, and I will see you here next time so that we can figure out what to do with our gorgeous pressed flowers. All right? Hope you guys are doing great. See you soon.